and gentlemen, the story you are about to hear is true. The names have been changed to protect the innocent.
Dragnet.
You're a detective sergeant. You're assigned a robbery detail. 2 men are terrorizing your city. They're both armed and considered dangerous. Your job, get them.
It was Thursday, September 9th. It was warm in Los Angeles. We were working the night watch out of robbery detail. My partner's Frank Smith. The boss is Chief of Detectives Thad Brown. My name's Friday. I was on my way back from the street, and it was 11:42 p.m. when I got to the 814 Club, the back room.
I hate to think what's going to happen when Mr. Negri hears about it. It's going to be pretty bad.
Yes, sir. How about it, Joe?
You catch the fellows yet?
No, sir. Description's out. Guys from the F cars are checking the neighborhood.
Haven't got nothing yet, though, huh?
No, sir, not yet.
Wish I was home.
Sir?
If I was home, I could turn off the phone. I got one of those attachments in the extension in the bedroom that turns it off. Wish I was there now. Mr. Negri's really going to be sore.
Mm-hmm. Was there anything at all about the 2 men that would stand out and make it a little easier for us to identify them?
Tell you the truth, Sergeant, if there was, I didn't see it.
All right.
I was scared. Darn scared, and I'm not afraid to say so.
Yes, sir.
I can tell you again if you want me to about the robbery.
All right, if you would. Might be something you didn't remember the first time through.
Okay. Guess it was about 11:15 when it came in. Just a guess, but I think it was about then. A dark one. He had the machine gun. He kind of moved over so he had a good look at the people sitting at the bar.
What kind of a gun was it?
Machine gun.
I see. Go ahead.
Guess he could have hit him off from where he was. Held the gun kind of low, you know, like at his hip. Here.
Mm-hmm. What about the other one?
Well, he waited with his friend, and he walked up to the bar and stood right in the middle of the floor.
He had the automatic, huh?
Yeah, it looked like a .45. He stood right in the middle of the place, just looking there, watching me.
What happened then?
Well, the fellow up in front reached over and pulled the plug in the jukebox, turned it off right in the middle of the record, pulled the plug. And that's what made the other people turn around. Turned right around and looked at the guns. That's when the light fellow, the one with the .45, he said, "Sit where you are. This is a stick-up."
Are those his exact words?
Well, near as I can remember, yeah. He kind of had a squeaky little voice, like it was still changing, you know?
Yes, sir.
But those were the words. Sit right where you are. This is a stick-up.
All right, Mr. Gilmore, you want to go ahead?
Well, the one with the funny voice told everybody to get up and turn around so they was facing the bar. You know, with their back to the hold-up man. Made them all turn around.
Mm-hmm.
Then he told them to start from the back of the place and walk over to one of the tables and dump all their money out. Said not to forget anything. Put it all there.
Did they take anything besides money?
Not that I saw. Well, there were a couple of people who had pretty good-looking watches on, but the only thing the bandits seemed to want was cash.
I see.
Then they left after they got the money, is that right?
Yeah. Walked to the door and said for us not to try to call anybody for 5 minutes. After that, they walked out.
Did you see if they had a car?
No, sir. Didn't even go near the door. We did like they said, 5 minutes, and after that, I called you.
Mm-hmm. You'd know them again if you saw them, would you?
You bet I would. You put me in a crowd with them, and I'll tell you. No trouble there. I'd know them. Oh, excuse me.
Go right ahead.
814 Club. Yeah. Oh, yeah, Mr. Negri. Uh-huh. That's right. Well, who called you? Yeah. Well, there wasn't anything I could do about Mr. Negri. Well, no, sir. Both of them had guns. Yeah. All right, sir. If that's the way you feel about it. All right, sir. Fine. I'll be in the morning. Right. Good night. Fired me.
Well, that's too bad. I thought I heard you say you'd be in the morning now.
Yeah. Well, I come in to pick up my money, you know.
I see.
Yeah. Time I get here tomorrow, I'll have another change of heart, so hire me back. I've been fired 12 times already. 12. He always hires me back. Isn't anybody else who worked for him?
Is that right?
Well, he had a lot of trouble keeping help. He thinks I should have stopped the hold-up men myself. Just walked in with my bare hands and stopped them. Pretty silly when you think of it.
Uh-huh.
He says they're only kidding with the guns, that they wouldn't have really shot me. Pretty silly. Says he'd have bet on it.
That right?
Doesn't take too much to figure that out.
Well.
Either way, I'd have lost, wouldn't I?
The description of the suspects, the method of operation they'd used, everything about the robbery sounded just as if it had been read from our M.O. bulletins. For the past 3 weeks, Frank and I had been after the 2 gunmen. All sources of information had been tapped. Victims and witnesses had been questioned and re-questioned. People in the immediate vicinity had been talked to. Mug shots had been pulled and worn out by handling. To date, in concrete information, we had exactly what we'd started with. 2 gunmen who were moving around at will and robbing citizens where and when they chose. The victims of the latest robbery were shown the mug books, but they were unable to make an identification. The canvass of the area turned up no usable information. Frank and I worked until 3:45 a.m., and then we filled out the log and left the office. The next morning, we checked with Captain Donahoe and Chief Brown. As a result of the meeting, we arrived at the only possible solution to apprehending the suspects. Legwork and a lot of it. We spent the rest of the afternoon rechecking informants. At 9:30 p.m., we stopped for dinner, and then we went back to the office.
You got the address Sam gave you?
Yeah, it's here somewhere. Yeah, here it is.
Yeah. You think it's worth checking out?
Well, we got nothing else to do. We might as well. As soon as I get these straightened up, we can take a ride out there and see him.
Yeah.
Robert, Murphy. Yeah, he's here. Just a minute. Friday?
Yeah, Murph.
Take 3, will you, Joe?
Thanks. 3?
Yeah.
This Friday. Yeah, boy. When was that? Well, it's possible. Did you see anybody else? All right, we'll come right over. Bye. It's Highland Park. They just picked up a guy for 459.
Yeah?
Matches the description of our blonde holdup man.
You think it'll check out?
I don't know. They shook him down when he was picked up. They found a 45 with a full clip.
It's pretty heavy for a burglar.
Yeah, let's go over and talk to him.
Sure be a break. We've been chasing luck long enough.
Well, maybe we caught up. Frank and I signed out of the office immediately, and we started over to Highland Park. It wasn't the first time we'd gone out on a similar call. During the time we'd been after the hold-up men, there'd been several others. All of them had to be checked out. We never knew when an odd piece of information might turn the lead that we'd been looking for. Just before we turned off onto Avenue 64, a call came in over the radio.
All units on frequency 1, stand by.
You want to turn it up?
All
Yeah,
units
I got
on
it.
frequency 1, stand by. Stand by 11J4. All units on frequency 1, please stand by.
Sounds like a good one.
Yeah, wait a
All
minute.
units in the vicinity of Highland Park area. All units in the vicinity of 6045 York Boulevard, Highland Park Division. Units 11F2, 11F3, 11F5, and 11F7. And all traffic units, attention.
It's a big one.
At 10:47 p.m. this date, an armed man entered the Highland Park police station and forced an officer to release 2 prisoners. The man was armed with a submachine gun believed to be a .45 caliber. Suspect is described
Sounds like our boy.
as WMA. 22.
The Highland Park Police Division is a large brick building located on York Boulevard. On the ground floor is a booking desk and a couple of administration offices. Directly behind the booking counter, across the hall, is a cell block. Prisoners are held there pending further investigation or transfer to the main jail. When Frank and I arrived, there were a dozen police cars around the building. Other units were searching the area for the escaped suspects. The call had gone out to the entire state, and members of the Highway Patrol and the Sheriff's Department and all other departments were joining in the manhunt. Frank and I talked to Officer Boyd Hutchins, the policeman who'd been on duty when the escape took place.
Well, he came in the side door, and first I thought he just wanted some information.
Uh-huh.
When I walked over to take care of him, I couldn't see the gun. He was carrying it low, kind of hidden by the counter.
You didn't see him come into the building then, huh?
No, I was on the phone. First I knew was when he asked me if he could see Burton.
Uh-huh.
I told him we couldn't swing it right then. Said he'd have to come back. And that's when he asked me if there was anybody around who could okay a visit.
Well?
I told him there was and said for him to come back in the morning.
That's when he showed you the gun, huh?
Yeah, he brought it right up over the counter. Said for me not to cause any trouble and I wouldn't get hurt. He didn't have to tell me.
Yeah.
If there'd been a chance for me to take on him, I'd have tried, but I didn't see how it'd prove anything for me to bleed all over him.
Yeah.
They made me take him back to the cell block. I unlocked the door and he told Burton to come out.
What about the other guy?
Oh, his name is Kenneth Lechner. He was in the same cell with Burton. The guy with the machine gun asked if he wanted to go for the ride, and Lechner said yes, and then the three of them walked out of the building.
Did they make any attempt to tie you up, anything like that?
No, he just said, sit tight. I wasn't about to argue.
What do you know about this Lechner?
Oh, he was picked up on a warrant from Oklahoma.
What charge?
Murder.
We went to the city hall and we checked the name Gail Burton through R&I. There was no record on him in Los Angeles. We forwarded the information on him to George Brereton up at CII in Sacramento. The rest of the night was spent in checking out the possible places the suspects might have been hiding. In a city of over 2 million people, there are a lot of places. While we were combing the city, men from the Sheriff's Department were going over the county territory. We had a vague description of the car that was used, but it might match any one of several hundred being driven on the streets of Los Angeles. Roadblocks were set up on principal routes leaving the city. Special details were standing by at all train and bus depots, and the airports were covered. Leaves and days off for all personnel were canceled, and by the time the search got out of low gear, over 3,000 policemen were looking for the three men. Field stations were set up in the less populated areas, and coffee and hot soup were served to the men participating in the search. The night dragged on without result. Saturday, September 11th, we received a report that 2 men answering the descriptions of Burton and the man who'd aided in his escape had tried to rent a boat down in San Diego. However, when this was checked out, it proved to be false. Saturday afternoon, we received information from George Brereton that Burton had an arrest record in Sacramento and that mug shots and all information were being forwarded. We got in touch with the authorities in the northern city and asked them to check further on the friends and relatives of Burton. When the mug shots arrived, they were shown to the holdup victims.
Mr. Gilmore, I'd like to have you take a look at these pictures, see if you recognize any of them.
Mm-hmm. You think there might be one here of the fellow who held us up?
Well, we want you to tell us if you can.
Uh-huh. No. Not him. Uh-uh. No. Well, you remember how I told you Mr. Negri would give me my job back?
Yeah, I remember that.
He did, just like always.
Oh, that's fine.
As soon as he read in the papers how they broke out of jail, he said I was right not to cause trouble. As soon as he found out about the jailbreak.
We're not sure they're the same men yet, Mr. Gilmore.
Don't know why.
Sir?
Don't know why, ain't sure. Here's his picture.
This is the man who held you up?
Yeah, one and the same.
How about it, Joe?
Burton. The other victims also identified Burton as one of the men who'd held them up. With the name of the man, we at least had some place to start. We put in a call to Sacramento, and we talked to the police department up there. We found that the suspect had been arrested on charges of suspicion of burglary, suspicion of robbery, ADW, and assault with intent to do great bodily harm. In spite of the numerous arrests, Burton had only served 1 term in the county jail. We got all available information on him, and the search was intensified. We'd gotten reports from informants that the 3 men might try to escape across the border into Mexico. San Diego was notified of this, and Al Gayton was dispatched to the international boundary at Tijuana to aid the Mexican police. 2 days passed without news of the suspects. Monday, September 13th, Frank and I got back into the office from chasing down a lead that went nowhere.
Better check with the skipper.
Yeah, I'll do it right away. I got it. Robbery Friday. Yeah, all right, I'll take it. It's long distance San Francisco.
Might have gotten up there, huh?
Hello. This Friday. Oh, yeah, Eddie. Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, we got the identification from Brereton. No, nothing yet. When was that? That could be. It'd give him time, wouldn't it? Just a minute, Frank.
Yeah?
It's Eddie Vandervoort up there. When did these guys pull the first job?
I think it was August 16th. Place over on Pico.
That's the first one, isn't it?
Yeah.
August 16th, Ed. No, the other one doesn't show up on any of the sheets. Kenneth Lechner. No, we're expecting it from Oklahoma. You guys will check it out for us then, huh? All right. Let us know as soon as you got something definite, will you? Right. Okay, Ed. Thanks for calling. Right. Bye.
What's he got?
Well, I got a rumble that Burton was up there the first part of August. He stayed about a week, he said.
Yeah.
Ed says he's got an informant down in the Fillmore district used to run with Burton. Might give us a lead on the partner.
How come?
Well, according to the informant, Burton met a guy up north. They got real chummy. They left town together.
Come up with a name?
Yeah, he did. Kirby Monet, M-O-N-E-T.
Been in trouble?
A couple of times. Petty stuff. Rumble's got it that he was always talking about going big, forming his own gang, cutting into the heavy stuff.
Matches?
Real good. Monet's description's the same as our number 2 man. Pictures of Kirby Monet arrived from San Francisco, and when they were shown to the victims of the thieves, we had a positive identification on our second suspect. Armed with this information, the job of the men in the field was considerably easier. Now they knew who they were looking for. 10:42 p.m., Frank and I started downstairs for our car.
Excuse me, Phil.
Yeah?
You tell me where the office of the chief is?
Down the hall and to the right.
Thanks.
Wait a minute, fella. Hold it up. What do you want to see the chief about?
Well, it's personal.
Maybe you better tell me, huh?
Well, if I wanted you, I'd ask it that way.
All right, get over the wall. Better shake him down, Frank.
All right, over here.
You don't have to go through all this. I'm not going to cause you any trouble.
Your name's Kenneth Lechner, isn't it?
That's right. If you couldn't find me, I figured I'd come to you.
Frank and I took the suspect to the squad room, and we got in touch with Chief Detective Thad Brown. We told him what had happened, and he said he'd come over to the office as soon as possible. We shook Kenneth Lechner, but we found nothing. We asked him to tell us about the jailbreak.
I didn't have nothing to do with it. You got to believe that.
We'll let you tell us.
I'm giving it to you the way it happened.
Where are Monet and Burton?
I don't know. Last I saw them, they were out on West Pico.
You got an address?
No. They were sitting in the car. They had a place cased, and they were waiting for the crowd to clear before they took it.
You know what place it was?
Well, it's a bar out there.
Got the name?
No, I haven't got any idea. I told you I want no part of it. That's the reason I left.
You haven't got any idea where the place is, huh?
No, none.
You want to tag communications, Frank? Tell them about it?
Yeah, I'll get it right away.
You guys must have every cop in the country out looking for us. Never saw so much fuzz.
Yeah.
I can't go that route anymore. It doesn't work out for me. Never was any good at running.
Did you hear anything at all about the plans they were making?
No, not a lot. I don't think they trusted me very much. I was with them, but like an in-law or something. I'll tell you something, Sergeant.
What's that?
These guys are roof jobs, both of them.
What do you mean?
Well, they lost the road all the time talking about how they're going to put class back in holdups, going to form a big gang and really jump the cops. All the time talking like that. Roof jobs.
Mm-hmm. You got any idea where we can pick them up?
Ain't nothing I'd like better than to give you the address, but I ain't got it.
What about this car they're using? Can you give us a description of it?
Yeah, it's a 52 Nash, 4-door.
Stolen?
Well, it must be. They had it when we left Highland Park.
You give us the number on the plate?
I don't think so. I can't pull it up. I don't think I ever really took a good look at it.
What about this machine gun? They got shells for it?
They're loaded with them. These two guys are heavy enough to start a small war on their own. Monet carries a chopper and a 45 in his belt. Burton's got 2 45s and a 38. He carries a 38 strapped to his leg. He's always laughing about it. Says even if he's picked up, he's got to ticket out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, these guys are real far out. They've been reading too many comic books. All the time talking about Dillinger and Floyd. Burton even took to smoking cigars. Says it makes him look like Doc Barker.
Anything you can give us that'll help us nail them?
No, nothing.
All right, Lechner, let's go.
You take me to jail?
That's right.
Hey, you do me a favor, huh, Sergeant?
What's that?
Give me a cell by myself. I ain't much sleep in the last couple of days. I'd sure like to get some.
All right, we'll see what we can do. All right, sit still a minute. All right, let's go.
You got to put these on again?
That's right. All right, come on. Get the word out?
Yeah, a little late.
What do you mean?
Burton and Monet have already hit the bar. Patrol car spotted them on the way out.
Yeah.
It was a beef, and the men in the car took Burton into custody.
Mm-hmm.
Dropped him in the car and started to bring him in. Hadn't gone more than a couple of blocks when Monet drove up, rammed the police car, and started shooting.
Anybody hurt?
Yeah, he took Burton away from the men in the unit and shot one of them.
How bad?
Well, he's at Georgia Street receiving now. They don't expect him to live.
We had Count Fleckner held for the Oklahoma authorities. We contacted Captain Donahoe and told him what had happened. He'd taken over the search for the 2 suspects in the Pico area. A blockade had been set up on all streets leading into and out of the area. All vehicles were being stopped and searched. All pedestrians were being interrogated. Frank and I joined in the manhunt. By 6:30 the next morning, Wednesday, September 15th, the area had been covered without result. However, in checking all automobiles in the vicinity of the holdup, we'd come across a 1952 Nash, gray in color. The left front fender was damaged, and it matched the description of the suspect's car very close. We put a stakeout on the vehicle and it was kept under watch for the next 24 hours. During that time, no one approached it. We checked the license number with Auto Theft Division and found the car to be stolen. It had been taken from the owner 5 days before on September 10th. We brought Kenneth Lechner from the main jail, and he positively identified the car as the one driven by Monet and Burton. At the end of the surveillance, a crew from the crime lab came out and identified paint scrapings from the damaged fender as having come from the police car that had been rammed. A crew from Leighton Prince came out and went over the car. While they worked, Frank and I stood by.
Looks like we got it turned.
Now, it's not going to do us much good if we can't find the guy with the key. Well, he should be about finished now. I'll check with him.
All right. I'll walk over with you.
Excuse me.
Yes, ma'am? Something we can do for you?
You know what those men are doing to that car?
Police business.
You a cop?
That's right.
You tell me what's going on?
Investigation.
Of what, the car?
That's right.
What are you looking for?
Information.
Not going to tell me, huh?
Well, it'd be a little better if we didn't, ma'am.
Okay. But he's not going to like it, not a bit.
Who's that?
The fellow that owns the car. He's not going to like having all you guys roam around.
You know the man that owns the car?
Sure. I'm figuring to get married. I know him.
What's his name?
Monet's kind of French-like, romantic.
How long you know him?
Not long. Sort of a whirlwind courtship, you'd say. Just met each other and we knew.
You know where this Monet is now?
Not right off. I know where he'll be.
Where's that?
At his place. I'm supposed to meet him there at 7:30 tonight. We got a date. Why, you want to talk to him?
That's right.
He's a nice fellow. You'll like him. Almost everybody does.
Is that right?
Never knew anybody met Kirby didn't want to be around him all the time. Everybody wants to be around Kirby. You know him. You'll see.
Well, that won't be too hard, ma'am.
Huh?
He's already convinced us. We had the girl, Drusilla Roth, show us where the suspect was living. The results of the investigation by Leighton Prince brought out several partial fingerprints. These were identified as belonging to both suspects. We checked with the landlady at the apartment. She verified the fact that Monet and Burton had moved into the place 3 days before. She told us that neither man was at home. In our company, we checked the room. Under a pile of dirty clothes in one of the bureau drawers, we found several boxes of ammunition for the 45s and the 38. There were also several hundred rounds of cartridges for the machine gun. Because of the physical structure of the building, it was decided that the best way to keep the place under surveillance would be for one team to cover the front door, another to watch the rear entrance, and a third to wait in the room itself. Frank called the office, and Sergeants Murphy, Rafferty, and Benson, along with Lieutenant Stoner, came out to help us. We instructed the manager to stay in her room and not let on to either of the suspects that we were in the building. We waited. 6:45 p.m.
Should be showing up pretty quick, huh?
Yeah. Any word from Georgia Street?
I talked to Stoner when he got here. They've given Simon a couple of transfusions.
Yeah.
Figure they're going to be able to transfer him to General the first thing in the morning.
You going to make it then?
Well, looks like it. They took a 38 out of his left lung, 2 more out of his hip. Pretty rough going.
Yeah.
What time you got?
6:47.
Should be here by now if he's going to keep that date.
Now, there's another one that comes first. At 7:06 p.m., there was a knock on the door. It was a signal that we'd arranged. We opened it and found that Lieutenant Stoner had come up to tell us that Gail Burton had been taken into custody. He'd approached the apartment, and as soon as the officer stopped him, he'd surrendered, offering no resistance. Stoner wanted to tell us that he and Benson would take the suspect downtown for booking. Frank and I settled back to wait for Monet.
9:20. Oh, I'd sure like a smoke.
Yeah.
Why is it, Joe, you and I always draw the stake inside the room where all we can do is sit?
I don't know. You usually ask for it that way, don't you?
Well, next time we're going to take one of the entrances. Sit out there in the car. Smoke when you want. If you want something to eat, you just run down to the drugstore for a candy bar. It's a lot better duty, Joe.
Sounds like somebody coming, doesn't it?
Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah.
All right, Monet, hold it right there.
Watch it, Joe.
See him?
Yeah. Down this way.
All right, hold it. Any sign of him?
No. He might have gone down the stairs.
The apartment at the end of the hall.
Right.
Come on. All right, Monet, come on out. It's the last time around, Monet. Throw that gun out and you follow it.
Not coming out.
All right, let's go in. Wait a minute. I'll knock.
All right, don't shoot anymore. I quit. I don't want to fight.
Throw the gun out here. Right there. Drop it.
All right, here it is. Doing like you say.
I got it.
All right. Hands behind your head. Back out of the door. Come on, turn around. Keep those hands where we can see them.
Okay, I'm coming. I don't shoot anymore. I won't give no more
All right,
trouble.
hold it right there. Now, don't move. Keep those hands up.
I'll shake him. Here's another one. 45. Had it in his belt.
I'd have given it to you. I wasn't going to try
Yeah,
anymore.
sure. All right, keep still.
All right.
Take your hands down. Back of it. One at a time. And now turn around.
You going to take me in now?
That's right.
That cop I shot, he didn't die.
No, you're pretty lucky.
And all you got me for is robbery. That's all. Just robbery.
That's how it looks from here, doesn't it?
Robbery, that's all. Jail term doesn't make a lot of difference.
Is that right?
Sure. Isn't a jail built can hold me? Not one. I'll get out. I'll be running again. You'll see.
I wouldn't give odds.
Huh?
Bigger men than you said they'd come back.
Yeah, show me. I'd sure like to meet him.
Don't worry, you will.
Kenneth Nelson Lechner was returned to the state of Oklahoma for prosecution on a murder charge. A hold was placed against him by the state of California in the event he is paroled. Gail Claude Burton and Kirby Arno Monet were tried and convicted of robbery in the first degree, 6 counts. Violation of Section 4574 PC, bringing a firearm into a prison, violation of the machine gun law, and assault with intent to commit murder. Robbery in the first degree is punishable by imprisonment for a period of not less than 5 years. Violation of Section 4574 is punishable by imprisonment for a period of not less than 1 year in the state penitentiary. Violation of the machine gun law is punishable by a term in the state prison not to exceed 5 years and/or a fine of $5,000. Assault with intent to commit murder is punishable by imprisonment for a period of not less than 1 nor more than 14 years in the state penitentiary.
You have just heard Dragnet, the authentic story of your police force in action, and starring Jack Webb, a presentation of the United States Armed Forces Radio Service.
Ladies and gentlemen, the story you are about to hear is true. The names have been changed to protect the innocent.
Dragnet.
You're a detective sergeant. You're assigned a juvenile detail. A series of housebreakings has taken place in your city. The articles taken and the method of operation indicate a juvenile thief. Your job, find him.
It was Tuesday, July 6th. It was hot in Los Angeles. We were working the day watch out of juvenile detail. My partner's Frank Smith. The boss is Captain Powers. My name's Friday. We were on our way out from the office, and it was 10:36 a.m. when we got to the old Central Jail building. Crime lab. Ray?
Back here, Joe. Going back. Finishing up.
Hi, Ray.
Frank, how's it going?
It's hot. It's going to hit 90.
Mm-hmm.
Probably will, too. Any water around?
Bottle over there in the corner. Help yourself.
Thanks. How about you, Joe? No, thanks. You got anything for us, Ray?
About the same as usual. Take a look. Same entrance. Cut the screen on one of the back windows, broke the glass, and climbed in.
Any prints?
None we could find. Here's a picture of the edge of the screen. Here. You can see the cut edges.
You got anything from it?
Not much. The figure was done with a knife. If you come up with that, we might be able to tell you if you got the right one.
Mm-hmm. What about the physical evidence in the house, Ray?
No, not much. We've got a couple of partials. Lifted them from the glass top on the dresser. Here. These pictures. And you can see here, not much to go on.
Match up with the prints from the other jobs?
A couple of points, and not enough to build a case on. Only thing you got that definitely ties this one in with the others is the footprint.
Another one?
Mm-hmm. Found it in the soft earth underneath the window. And that print, will you, Frank?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, here you go.
Thanks. Here. There, you can see it clearly, the heel mark. Same as in the others.
You get a cast of it?
Mm-hmm. You want to see it?
No. No reason if you've looked it over.
You got the same thing on the picture.
Yeah. Anything else?
You've had it.
Well.
You got a cigarette? Ran out. I haven't had a chance to get some more.
Here.
Thanks. Thanks, Joe.
Yeah. You been able to chase down the rubber heel for us?
No luck. We contacted half a dozen firms. They all tell us the same things, made special. Probably some small factory that specializes in custom-made shoes. Might be some sort of correcting shoe. You know, orthopedic.
Oh, yeah.
You've had it for a couple of weeks now. Where do you sit on it?
All right, well, we found it. We've talked to about every repairman in town. None of them have seen this kind of a heel before. None of them can tell us where it was made.
Mm-hmm.
Checked with the doctors in the area. None of them know the brand. Figured it might be one of them who sent for it.
Nothing on it, though.
No? It's a new one to them, too.
Yeah. Much as more I could give you, fella.
Well, that's all right, Ray. It seems no matter which way we turn, there's another wall waiting for us.
How about burglary? Anything come in from them?
Well, they're checking it all down. They got the same thing we came up with.
Anything turn up on the stolen merchandise?
No. Burglaries made all the checks. Pawn shops have been alerted. Stuff's all cheap costume jewelry. No reason to try and hawk it. They didn't get anything for it.
Brings you back to a motive. Why'd you pull in the jobs in the first place?
Well, Ray, we'll file that with where the heels are made. Not the only thing we can figure is that some kid out for kicks gets his laugh from breaking into houses. There's no other reason. Stuff he's stolen, you can buy by the carload in any dime store. A couple of times he's left money alone when it's in plain sight to steal some cheap pin.
Looks like you got yourself a wild one.
Yeah. Well, what can you tell us about the footprints, eh?
Not much. It was found under the window. Kid wasn't moving when they were made. Can't figure his size.
What about weight?
Only a guess, Joe.
Yeah.
I'd say it came in about 140. Could be 15 pounds one way or the other.
What about the size?
7. Looks like 7 feet.
Mm-hmm. You sure about that?
Well, pretty sure.
Not much, is it?
Best we can do.
Okay. Last place, the woman was real sore.
Don't blame her.
Not about the costume jewelry. She didn't much care about that. Some prize gladiola she was raising. Kid tramped all over him. Real sore that he stepped on.
Don't blame her.
Says when she catches him, she's going to give him a good talking to. Tramping up all her clients. Well, we'll see you, Ray.
Yeah. You haven't got much to go on, have you?
You called it. Frank and I went back to the office, and we pulled all of the reports that we had on the theft. We spent the rest of the morning going over them. The method of operation was apparent. Each Friday night for the past 2 months, between the hours of 8:30 and 11 p.m., a single thief had entered a home in a wealthy section of town and stolen as much worthless costume jewelry as he could carry out. On each occasion, the entry was made through a rear window. In those cases where the window was locked, the thief broke the glass and undid the latch. On each occasion, he left at least one footprint in the dirt around the house. The heel impression was of a type that we hadn't been able to identify. We'd gotten pictures of it out to all major shoe manufacturers, but they were unable to tell us where the shoes had been made. We'd canvassed the area where the thefts were taking place without result. Rolling stakeouts were set up on Friday nights, and they'd netted us nothing. The thief approached the home, broke into them, stole what he wanted, and then he left without being apprehended or seen. Throughout the investigation, Frank and I had been working closely with Burglary Division, but their men hadn't been able to come up with any more than we had. At 1:15 p.m., Frank and I left the office, we got something to eat, and then we started to check the playgrounds again. At each one, we'd contact a member of the park department and ask them if they'd seen anyone wearing a pair of shoes similar to the pictures that we had. Every place we got the same answer. None of them had. We stopped groups of boys on the street and asked to see their shoes. We checked malt shops, drugstores, pool halls, and bowling alleys without any result. The same operation had been going on for the past 2 weeks without bettering our chances of apprehending the suspect. 5:30 p.m. Frank and I left one of the larger bowling alleys in town and headed back to the office.
Boy, I'll sure be glad to get home tonight.
Yeah,
Hot.
sure was.
Yeah, must have gone over 90.
Yeah.
Must have. Paper said 90, but it was hotter, I can always tell.
How can you always tell?
My feet, Joe. Always tell with my feet. Cold day, I can walk for a couple of miles, not have any trouble. Come the hot weather, and if I step off a curb, I got misery.
Yeah.
I think I'll get me another pair of shoes. Kind with the holes in them.
What?
Kind with the holes in them. You know what I mean. You see them all the time in the men's magazines, kind of cloth on the top. You know, real thin leather on the sole and cloth over the top, a lot of little holes in it. They're cool.
Mm-hmm.
See them all the time in the magazines, don't you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I see them all the time.
You know, it's got a picture of a guy wearing them with a tan suit on. Always got on the same suit, and he's got a straw hat with one of those bands made out of feathers, you know, like a kind of snake kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Guy's always in a tan suit and a hat. Well, maybe you got to have one of those before you can buy the shoes, you figure?
One of those suits?
Yeah.
I don't know.
You're not talking much today.
Haven't got room to get in. You're doing it all, you know.
Oh, hi, that's pretty funny. It's hot.
Must have been over 90.
I was just about to say it.
Slow
Must
down,
have been
will you,
over
Frank?
90.
Slow down there.
Huh?
Take it easy. See that kid up there?
No.
Up there. Just coming out of the drugstore in the corner, waiting for the light there.
Oh, yeah. Tennis player, huh?
Well, he's wearing a pair of canvas shoes, looks like, from here.
Yeah. Want to check him?
You might as well. That's good here.
All right.
You want to wait?
No, I'll come with you.
Hey, fella, hold it up.
What?
Wait a minute.
You mean me?
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you want?
Police officer, son. We'd like to ask a couple questions.
What for? I haven't done anything.
No, we didn't say you did. We just want to ask a couple questions.
Oh, I thought there for a minute you were after me.
It's my partner, Frank Smith. My name's Friday.
Hi.
Oh, I'm Alec McCarran. What do you want to ask?
You been playing tennis?
No, just practicing. I go down to the handball courts at school and practice. Couldn't get a game this afternoon. Why?
Let's take a look at your shoes, will you?
What?
Your shoes there that you're wearing. We want to see them.
What is this, a joke?
No.
Well, sure sounds like a rib. You guys sure you're really cops?
Well, here's the ID again. You want to look? Now, let us look at your shoes, will you?
Okay, no reason not to. There.
The soles we want to see.
You sure this isn't some kind of joke?
Look, son, it's no joke.
Come on, Alec. Let's see the soles.
Sure, there. Well, you satisfied now?
Yeah.
Okay for me to go now?
Straight down.
Well, I say, what is this anyway? Oh, it's stopping me in the shoe thing. You looking for something special?
Not anymore. We just found it. Frank and I took the boy back to Georgia Street and checked his name through R&I. We found that there was no previous arrest record for him. 7:15 p.m. We took him into one of the interrogation rooms.
Your full name's Alec McCarran, is that right?
Yeah.
How old are you?
16.
Where do you live?
4782 Fargo Street.
Where's that, son?
Up above Silver Lake.
Mm-hmm.
You live with your family?
Yeah.
Mother and father both living?
Yeah. When are you going to tell me what this is all about?
Got a job, son?
Not now. I got one coming up.
Doing what?
Box boy in a market. Supposed to go to work next week. The kid they got now is going in the Army. They promised me his job.
You go to school?
Yeah, I'm a senior in high school. Look, it's getting late. My dad's going to start to worry. Is it okay if I call him?
We'll call him for you in a minute.
Thanks. What do I tell him when he wants to know what's happening?
We'll talk to him.
What do you usually do nights?
I don't know what you mean.
Well, evening hours. What do you do?
I stay home mostly. Got to get my grades up for college. I usually study.
During summer vacation?
My dad helps me. I got to make up a couple of credits.
Thought you had to go to summer school for that.
I guess I'll get out of school late.
You study every night?
Just about, yeah.
But not everyone, huh?
No, I go out sometimes.
When?
Mostly the weekends, Friday.
What do you do when you go out? And where do you go?
Show sometimes.
Anywhere else?
Bowling. Sometimes just down to the library to get a book. Mostly to the show.
Do you go with anybody?
No.
Where'd you get those tennis shoes?
My dad got them for me.
Where?
Place back east. I had him a long time.
You know the name of the place?
Not right off. Some place in Maine, I think.
Mm-hmm. You know anybody else who's got a pair like them?
I've never seen any others. I told you my father got them for me. He used to wear them when he was a kid. Sent back to Maine for them.
Mm-hmm.
You guys won't tell me what this is all about, huh?
Yeah, we will. There've been a string of burglaries in town, housebreaking. The person that's been pulling them wears a pair of shoes just like yours.
Like mine?
That's right.
You think I'm the one?
Well, it looks like it, doesn't it?
I better call my father.
All right, we'll call him for you.
Isn't the only pair of shoes in the world, you know.
Only ones we've been able to find, son.
There must be a lot more.
Well, we're willing to see them. Hello, this is Sergeant Friday, Los Angeles Police Department. Who am I speaking to, please? Uh-huh. Yes, sir, your son's here. Suspicion of burglary. That's right. Well, that may be so, Mr. McCarran, but that's the charge. Yes, sir. No, we'll bring him to his home. Sure you can. Just a minute. He wants to talk to you, son.
Hello, Dad? Yeah. Uh-huh. At the police station. No, it's no joke. What? Well, I'll tell you when I see you. Yeah, bye.
All right, Alex. Get your sweater.
You taking me home now?
That's right.
Guess Dad set you straight, huh? Told you it was all a mistake?
No, I'm afraid he didn't.
What do you mean? Didn't he tell you this whole thing is wrong?
Well, he tried to, yeah, that's right.
Well, then you're going to have to let me go.
No, afraid not.
But you have to if it's a mistake.
Yeah, if it's a mistake. Frank and I left the office with the boy, and we drove out to his home. It was a large two-story colonial house overlooking Silver Lake. We were admitted to the place by a maid, and we were shown into the living room. The boy's father, Henry McCarran, was waiting for us.
You're the officer?
Yes, sir, that's right. My partner, Frank Smith. My name's Friday.
How do you do? You want to tell me what this is all about now?
Well, it looks like your son's mixed up in some burglaries, Mr. McCarran.
You're aware that's a pretty serious charge?
Yes, sir, that's right.
I suppose you have some kind of proof to make that statement?
We think so.
Mind telling me what it is?
Well, while we were talking, would it be all right to look at the boy's room?
You think that's quite fair?
Necessary, Mr. McCarran.
What if I say you can't?
Well, then we'll have to come back with a warrant.
All right, this way. What do you got to say about this, Alex?
I didn't do it, Dad.
That's the truth?
Yes, sir.
Good enough for me. Through here. And this is it. Go ahead.
Frank?
Yeah. Now, then, suppose you tell me what this is all about.
The shoes that your boy is wearing, you got them for him?
That's right. Had them made to order.
Where?
Place back east in Maine.
You know if anyone else has a pair of them?
No, as far as I know, that's the only pair on the coast. Good tennis shoes. I used to wear them when I played.
Uh-huh.
What do they have to do with this?
Well, on each one of the thefts, we found a print from a shoe like that outside the window.
Well, that doesn't mean that Alec was in them at the time.
How about it, Alec? You let anybody else use the shoes?
No.
Well, there's your answer.
Still doesn't come down to proof.
What night does your boy spend out of the house, Mr. McCarran?
I don't know. I guess he's gone on Friday most of the time.
You know where he goes?
Show, library. I don't keep a chain on him, Sergeant. I have complete trust in Alec.
Burglaries have been taking place on Friday nights.
Still entirely circumstantial.
Yes, sir, but it fits, doesn't it?
What's he supposed to have stolen?
Costume jewelry.
You mean 5 and dime stuff?
Yes, sir.
All right, there you are. You tell me why.
Sir?
Why'd Alex steal that? Now, look around, Sergeant. I just spent $1,500 on this room. Had it all redone. Alex got just about everything he wants. He gets a good allowance. If he needs any more money, he only has to come to me. There's no reason for him to steal.
Yes, sir, this is a nice room and all. What you say may be true, but the fact stays the thefts are taking place.
Well, all right, then I'll put it on the line. I've got faith in my son. He's had all the things a boy could want, a good family, good home, all the things that count. Maybe there is a thief, but it isn't my son. I know that.
You got an explanation for the shoes for the Friday night?
No, I'll find one.
Maybe you can try for this, too, Mr. McCarran.
What?
Found these in the boy's closet.
Hmm?
Box of cheap costume jewelry.
With the finding of the jewelry in Alec McCarran's room, the circumstantial case against him seemed to solidify. Although he denied any knowledge of the pieces, he was taken down to Georgia Street Juvenile and booked on suspicion of violation of Section 459 PC, delinquent. His father retained a lawyer immediately. The next day, the jewelry found at his home was shown to the victims, and they gave us a positive identification on each one of the pieces. A petition was filed, and the facts were presented to the juvenile court. Detention was requested. On Thursday, July 8th, Frank and I got back from the second floor after talking to the McCarran boy. He still admitted nothing about the burglaries.
I don't know. Maybe I'm starting to believe the kid.
He sure makes you wonder, doesn't he?
Sergeant Friday?
Yes, sir. How are you, Mr. McCarran?
Fine, thank you. I've got it, Sergeant. I got it right here.
Sir?
The way to show you that my son had no part in these burglaries.
All right, sir, go ahead.
Now, you say that all the thefts have taken place on Friday night, is that right?
Yes, that's right.
And your big piece of evidence is the heels on his shoes, right?
Well, that's part of it, yes, sir.
All right, then you can just turn them loose.
I beg your pardon?
I remembered it last night. I couldn't get to sleep and got to thinking. I remembered.
All right, go ahead.
Alec's shoes get a lot of use. He plays a lot of tennis, wears his shoes all the time.
Yes, sir.
The soles and heels wore out. We had to send them back east and have them resold. Sent them back on May 5th. Didn't get them until May 19th. Now, there's 2 Fridays in there, Sergeant. If the shoes were gone, Alec couldn't have done the burglaries.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, I hope now that you'll admit that you've made a mistake.
Well, if we have, Mr. McCarran, we'll sure tell you.
Well, you can take my word for it. Alec had no part in any of this. He's a good boy. He's honest. He's smart. If he was going to steal anything, if it really came to that, he wouldn't risk his neck for a few cheap beads.
Doesn't seem so, does it?
Here you are, Joe.
Right.
Well, what about it? What'd you find out?
Just a minute, sir.
Well, you're going to release my son now?
No, sir.
Well, the shoes were out of state then. He couldn't have committed the thefts.
Mm-hmm.
Month of May, 2 Fridays in that month.
Yes, sir, that's right. No burglaries on either one of them.
You are listening to Dragnet, the authentic story of your police force in action.
Seemed like every attempt the father made to prove the innocence of Alec McCarran only turned up another piece of evidence against him. The date for his hearing in juvenile court was set, and Frank and I talked with Mr. Bowman of the probation department on the preparation of the case. From the evidence, it appeared that the boy would be found guilty. We questioned and re-questioned him. We went over every facet of his story, but he still stuck to it. At no time did he change any part of it. Saturday, July 10th, Frank and I checked into the office.
Boy, it's going to be another scorching.
Yeah, probably over 90 again, huh?
Yeah, over 90. More than that, Joe. I'm going over to Broadway at noon today and pick up a pair of those shoes I was telling you about.
Mm-hmm, with the tan suit.
Ones with the holes in them. Not to suit the shoes, you know. Finally decided last night I need them more than a new spinning reel. I'm going to get them.
Well, that's good.
Anything for us?
Yeah. Looks like we might be wrong about that McCarran boy.
What do you mean?
Another housebreaking last night. Footprints all over the place.
Yeah?
All of them with the same heel print. We left the office. We went over to the crime lab. Ray Pinker showed us photographs that had been made at the scene. The marks were identical with those we'd found before. The size of the shoe, the way they were worn, everything matched. The information blew the case against Alec McCarran sky high, and both Frank and I felt a little relieved. The probation department was informed what had happened, and the boy was released immediately. Frank and I drove him to his home, where he was reunited with his family. We obtained the name and address of the shoe company who had made the tennis shoes, and the radiogram was sent to the police department in that city requesting all information on similar shipments to the Los Angeles area. We got the answer the next morning. Only one other pair had been sent to the Southland. Those had been sent to a Mr. Homer Ellsworth, care of General Delivery, Ventura, California. We checked the name through records and identification, but we were unable to come up with a record for him. The name was sent to George Brereton, CII, Sacramento. At 11:15, Frank and I drove up to the beach city. We talked to the postmaster and several of the clerks. They told us that several pieces of mail had been delivered to Ellsworth. Although none of the people could tell us where the man lived, they were able to give us a good description of him. They went on to say that they'd gathered from conversations that he resided someplace in Los Angeles. We left word with them that the local police department be called in the event the man returned, and then Frank and I drove back to the city. We checked the name again, this time with a description. No make. One of the outstanding things in the way the man was described was that the little finger from his left hand was missing. This was checked through the oddity file without result. The additional information was forwarded to Brereton. We checked with burglary detail, but they had nothing on the suspect. 8:40 p.m. We drove out to the McCarran house and talked again to his family.
I knew it all the time.
Yes, sir?
Got a boy like Alec after 16 years, you know pretty much what he will, what he won't do.
Yes, sir. A couple things we'd like to go over with you.
Sure, anything you want. Just let me know.
All right.
Caught the person who was really responsible for this?
That's what we want to talk to you about.
That's fine. Go right ahead.
Now, the description we've got of the man is that he's about 50, around 5'8", 150 pounds, dark-haired, gray at the temples, wears glasses, has a mustache. Got a finger missing from the left hand.
Mm-hmm. What's his name?
Well, that we don't know, sir. That's why we're asking you.
No name at all.
Well, he's used Homer Ellsworth. We don't think that's his true name.
It isn't.
Sir?
Name's not Ellsworth. It's Fallon. Homer Fallon.
You know him?
Sure. He worked for me for 10 years. Sort of a handyman. Does odd jobs around the house.
You know where we can reach him?
Not sure about that.
What do you mean?
He quit yesterday morning.
We got Fallon's address. We left for the place right away. It was a small house in the South Hollywood area. The front yard was overgrown, and several of the pickets from the fence were missing. It was a 1938 Chevrolet truck parked in the driveway. Frank and I left our unit and walked up to the front door.
Watch your step, Joe.
What?
Ford lives there.
Oh, yeah, I see.
I think you'd have a light out here, wouldn't you?
I get it.
Don't hear anything.
Well, he must be here. Would have taken the truck, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Homer Fallon?
Who are you?
Police officers who want to talk to you.
Come on in. Sit down. Just fixing a little dinner.
Yes, sir. Go right ahead.
Spaghetti. Want some?
No, sir.
Pretty good. That kind that's all cooked. Just drop it in the water and heat up the sauce. Pretty good. Sure you don't want none?
No, thank you.
How about you?
No, sir.
Well, wait a minute. I'll turn down the fire and we can talk.
All right, sir.
You gotta watch it pretty close. Gets too cooked and you gotta eat it with a spoon. Not good that way.
No, sir.
Oh, you've had it, have you?
You want to come in here, sir?
Yeah, I'll be right with you. Open up the sauce and I'll be right there.
Maybe better come in now.
What?
Come on in. Sit down.
Go ahead. Sit down.
You haven't got no right to tell me what to do in my own house. No right at all.
Frank, better check the place, huh?
Yeah.
Here, you got no right to go through my things.
We can come back with a warrant if that'd be easier
And
for
you
you.
go ahead and do it. You got no right.
There's something you don't want me to find?
No. I got nothing to hide.
Then you won't mind, will you?
I will, too. You guys come in here while I'm having dinner, causing a lot of trouble. You got no right to do this. I'm an old man. I can't take a lot of excitement.
And why don't you save us all a lot of time?
What?
You know why we're here. You know what we want.
I do?
Sure you do.
Why don't you tell us?
Big thing over nothing. That's all it is.
You tell us about it, will you?
All the stuff put together wasn't worth $1.50. None of it. Not even $1.50.
Well, then why'd you do it?
Wanted to get the kid in trouble. All his life, he's had what he wanted. All his life. Different from me.
Mm-hmm.
I never had nothing.
You put the things we found in his room, did you?
Yeah. I knew you'd get to him. Wanted to sew it up. Make it look good. I put him there.
Mm-hmm. And why'd you do the burglary last night?
Well, I got to feeling sorry for the kid sitting in jail.
You ever been arrested, Fallon?
Well, a long time ago.
Where?
Back east. Vag charge. I was just a kid, working my way out here.
Mm-hmm.
Took me off a freight. I sat in a can overnight, and then they let me go. Give me a floater out of town.
Mm-hmm.
I got sorry for the kid. Figured if there was another stealing while he was in jail, you'd let him go.
All right. Get your coat, will you?
Yeah.
Where is it?
Closet there.
Wait there, I'll get it.
The only one in there.
I got it. Here you go.
Thanks. You know, I was sorry right after. I didn't want to hurt the kid. He's really not too bad.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't want to cause him no trouble.
You did pretty good, didn't you?
Suppose so. Well, want to go?
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot the spaghetti. Got to turn it off.
No?
I guess it doesn't make any difference anyway.
What was that, sir?
Don't make any difference about you taking me to jail.
Is that right?
Yeah, I cooked the spaghetti too long.
Homer Lindsay Fallon was tried and convicted of burglary in the first degree, 6 counts, and received punishment as prescribed by law. Burglary in the first degree is punishable by imprisonment for a period of not less than 5 years in the state penitentiary.
Dragnet is a presentation of the United States Armed Forces.
Ladies and gentlemen, the story you are about to hear is true. The names have been changed to protect the innocent.
Dragnet.
You're a detective sergeant. You're assigned to robbery detail. You get a call that a hold-up man has hit one of the larger auction houses in your city. You have a good description of him. Your job, find him.
Dragnet, the documented drama of an actual crime. For the next 30 minutes, in cooperation with the Los Angeles Police Department, you will travel step by step on the side of the law through an actual case transcribed from official police files. From beginning to end, from crime to punishment, Dragnet is the story of your police force in action.
It was Tuesday, February 1st. It was raining in Los Angeles. We were working the day watch out of robbery detail. My partner's Frank Smith. The boss is Chief of Detectives Thad Brown. My name's Friday. I was on my way into the office, and it was 8:07 a.m. when I got to room 27A. Robbery squad room.
Morning, Joe.
Hi.
The rain let up?
No. It's still coming down. Doesn't look like it's going to stop either.
Oh, sure got it out in the valley.
Well. Anything in the book for us?
No. Talked to Skipper. He's got a couple of things for us to check out.
What do we got, do you know?
All right, bank job last week. Stats office came up with a list of possibles. We're supposed to help check them out.
All right.
Here's the list. A couple on there we know, too.
Mm-hmm. When did Rocky get out?
A couple of months ago.
Can't stay out of trouble, can he?
I called the adult authority. They say he's got a job working 9 to 6.
Well, he'd still find a way to get out.
Yeah.
Well, let's get on it.
Okay. You think I'll need my rubbers?
What?
My rubbers, you think I'll need them?
I don't know. They're your feet. It's raining pretty hard.
Well, I guess I better take them. Faye'll get sore if she finds out I'm not wearing them.
I didn't hear you.
I say Faye'll get sore if she finds out I'm not wearing them.
Oh.
I get home, she looks at the soles of my shoes. If they're wet, she knows I left the overshoes in the locker. She gets real hacked, Joe.
Yeah. You gonna put them on now?
Yeah, I've walked outside.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, sure hard to get on.
Are you about finished there?
Yeah.
I want to see Danny before he leaves.
What is it, something special?
No, I heard that he had a set of golf clubs for sale. I thought maybe I'd look at them.
Are you going to start playing golf?
No. I thought maybe I'd take a look at them. You know, I've been thinking maybe I ought to do something like that. Some kind of hobby. Golf isn't too expensive, is it?
Fishing, Joe.
What?
You ought to take up fishing. That's for you.
It is.
Sure, fishing. Out in the boat, fighting the unknown. With golf, you hit a ball and you know where it's going.
No, not me.
You know what I mean. With golf, you kind of know what's going to happen. But with fishing, there's always that mystery of what's going on at the other end of your line. You never know.
Yeah.
No, you don't, Joe. You never know what's going to take. The bait might be a big school of white sea bass or yellowtail down there. Might even be a school of albacore. No, fishing's for you, Joe.
You think so, do you?
Well, it's a little early yet, but you just hang on, old buddy, and tell you what, I'll take you out with me this year. Show you how it's done.
Mm-hmm. No, I don't think so. I heard about your fishing.
What do you mean?
Oh, Gene Patrick was telling me about how you robbed the bait tank, strung up the horse sardines, and took them home.
He's jealous, Joe.
He is.
Yeah, he wanted them.
Hot shot, I'll get it. You better hurry up. We got one to roll on.
Yeah?
Auction house out on Wilshire Boulevard.
Huh?
They were just hit. "8:37 a.m. We arrived at the Charles Kane Auction Gallery. It was a large Spanish-type building located on the corner of Wilshire Boulevard and Gregory Drive. A radio card answered the call, and the officers from the unit were taking reports. The policeman at the door told us that his partner was making a check of the neighborhood to see if he could come up with any information for us. An ambulance had arrived, and the man at the door told us that the attendant was in the store taking care of one of the victims. We went in and talked to him.
Hey, watch it, huh? Feels like he stole my head in.
Oh, sorry, Mr. Kane. You fellas officers?
Yeah, that's right. Friday and Smith, Central Robbery.
All right, if we talk to him. Sure, I'm almost finished here.
Sure, you can talk to me. Go ahead, I'll tell you.
All right, sir. This is my partner, Frank Smith. My name's Friday.
Charles Kane. This is my place. I'm the one that was robbed.
Yes, sir, we understand.
This is Miss Morgan. I know these are policemen.
How do you do?
How are you?
Morgan?
Where'd the other cops?
Sir?
Other fellas, the ones in the police car, where did they go?
Well, they're outside, Mr. Kane.
Oh, you fellas with the guns, eh?
What's that, sir?
The guns, the big ones. You know, the ones who's going to handle it?
Well, I guess you could say that.
Yeah, well, suppose you want me to tell you all about it, huh?
Yes, sir, if you would, please.
Yeah, been in the auctioning business a long time. This is the first time a thing like this has ever happened. First time.
Uh-huh.
Came in this morning early. Came in to check the consignment from Santa Barbara. Loading new stuff. Only it's old.
Yes, sir.
We bought it up. Supposed to be here this morning. I came in the office. Yeah, right in here. Fellow was standing back at the door. As soon as I came in, he clouded me on the head. Whacked me a good one. Hey, wait. Take it easy with that bandage, will you?
Yes, sir, I'm sorry.
You like that fella Ichabod?
Who's that?
Ichabod, you know, from Washington Irving. Ichabod Crane. Fella rode around carrying his head under his arm. Yes, sir, feel like I could do that. Grand writer, Irving. Read almost all his stuff. Grand.
Yes, sir. What time did you come in?
Yeah, grand. Oh, it must have been about 7:45.
Wonder if you can give us a description of the man.
Sure. Don't you want me to tell you the rest of the story first?
Well, if we can get a description of the man, Mr. Kane, we can get a broadcast out on him.
Yeah. He robbed the safe, too, you know.
Yes, sir, we understand.
Cleaned it right out.
How tall was the man, sir?
Oh, about 6'2". Big fella. Well, might even been bigger.
How about his weight?
Big there, too. Maybe a couple 100 pounds.
Did you see the man, Miss Morgan?
Well, yes, he was here when I came in.
Yeah, but I'm the one he hit.
Well, he was back here with Mr. Kane when I came in. The man must have just hit him.
Did you get a pretty good look at him?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, he hit me. He gave me a real whack right on the head.
Yes, sir.
This fellow's covered it all up with bandages, or you'd be able to see it. A real whack.
Yes, sir, we understand.
I think that'll take care of it, Mr. Kane.
Will, huh?
Yes, sir. I suggest you see your doctor, though.
Yeah, why?
We usually recommend it, sir.
Oh, yeah. Well, thanks, young fella.
Yes, sir.
How about the man's coloring, Mr. Kane?
That ambulance fellow been real nice.
Yes, sir. Can you tell us about the man who held you up?
Light complected.
Did he wear glasses?
No, didn't have glasses.
Well, he had them on when I saw him.
Yeah? Well, he didn't when he whacked me.
What kind of glasses were they, ma'am?
Well, they're the ones with the plastic rims, sort of a light color.
Must have taken them off when he hit me.
What was he wearing?
Gray suit. Business suit. Gray.
Was he clean shaven, do you remember?
Well, yes, he had a dark beard, though. Real heavy, but he was clean shaven.
I'll get this out, Joe.
Right.
Did he have any accent when he talked, Mr. Kane?
No, just hauled off and hit me as soon as I came in the door. Didn't say a word. Just whacked me on the head.
Did he speak to you, Miss Morgan?
Well, yes, he did. He told me to keep quiet and nothing would happen.
Did you notice anything in his speech?
No, he talked just like anybody else.
Okay, you called him, Frank?
Yeah.
Miss Morgan?
Yes, sir.
What time did you get in this morning?
Oh, it must have been about 8, maybe a couple of minutes after.
Did you see the hold-up man when you came in?
No, not right away. He wasn't out in the gallery.
Uh-huh.
I came into the office here. This is where I work most of the time. That's when I saw him. He was standing right over there. Mr. Kane was on the floor, and the robber was standing next to him. I guess he just hit Mr. Kane.
Uh-huh. What did he say to you?
Oh, I told you. He said for me to keep quiet and nothing would happen to me.
Did he say anything else?
No, he didn't.
Didn't say much to me either. Just whacked me.
Would you know the man if you saw him again, Miss Morgan?
Yes, I would.
So did I.
All right, sir. Well, we'd like both of you to come downtown and look at some pictures, if you would.
Oh, got him, huh? Fast work.
Oh, no, sir. No, we haven't got him in custody yet, but we may have a picture of him downtown.
Yeah? How'd that be?
Well, if he's done this kind of thing before and he's been arrested, we'd have a record on him.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Kane.
Yeah?
What kind of a burglar alarm system do you have here in the store?
Oh, it's right there on the window.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you see those little strips of foil? Electricity runs through them. They get broke and it rings the bell out in front of the store.
You're not on a system, though, are you? Huh?
Oh, no. Always figured that if the bell went off, the cops would be here soon enough.
I see.
He must have found out some way to turn the thing off, though. Didn't ring at all. I'd heard it if it had. I'd have heard it sure.
Do either of you people smoke?
Yeah, both of us.
Got out the broadcast, Joe. Good. Call the crime lab. They're on the way.
All right, fine.
I took another look at the front door. Whoever broke in sure knew his job real clean. You got anything?
Well, we don't know yet. Either of you two people smoked this morning here in the office?
Not me. Sure could use a cigarette, though. Calm me down.
There you are, Miss Kane.
How about you, miss?
Thank you.
Why all these questions about smoking? I want to know if you're going to catch that man. There was over $1,200 in that safe, and I had a couple of $100 on me. He took all that. What you asking all these silly questions for?
Well, there's some cigarettes here on the floor. Looks like the hold-up man must have waited for you two to get here.
Yeah, probably did. Broke into the safe and then waited for me to come in. Dirty sneak.
What do you got, Joe?
Some paper matches here. Might be something.
Yeah?
You take a look at them?
Yeah. Huh, up there. Some printing on that one. Can you read what it says?
23 miles to Wilming. The rest of it's burned off.
Probably Wilmington.
Uh-huh.
Oh, you got something? A clue?
Well, we don't know yet, sir.
Here's another one, Joe.
Can you read it?
Yeah, this one's almost full. Only the tip's been burned.
What's it say?
Well, it says 14 miles to Santa Monica.
What was that?
14 miles to Santa Monica. Look like matches from a motel, maybe a hotel, something like that.
Might be a restaurant.
Yeah, you guys won't have any trouble at all. Getting the fella, I mean.
Sir?
Yeah, simple. Just find a place that's 23 miles from Wilmington, 14 miles from Santa Monica. Don't you get it? Find that place, and your man will be waiting for you. You get it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, simple. Find that place, and your man will be there.
9:20 a.m. The crime lab arrived and went over the place. The burned matches and the cigarette butts were retained for evidence. Pictures were taken of their position relative to the safe. We continued to question the two victims. From their stories, we were able to piece together what had happened. They were both asked to go with us to the robbery division to check through the mug books for an identification of the holdup man. From their descriptions of the man, we were able to come up with an accurate idea of what he looked like. We contacted the artist up in the crime analysis division and asked him to start a composite drawing of the thief. The crime lab called and gave us additional information on the matches. From the distances printed on them, we were able to get an idea of where the original matchbook might have come from. The intersection of the lines was in the Hollywood area. 3:15 p.m., we drove over to talk to the manager of the company who had made the matches, a Mr. Tom Holger.
Come on in.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Sit down.
All right, sir, fine.
Now, what can I do for you?
We're police officers, Mr. Holger. My name's Friday. This is my partner, Frank Smith.
How do you do? Well, what can I do for you? I hope it's nothing I've done wrong.
No, sir, nothing like that. We'd like some help if you can give it to us.
Sure, always glad to cooperate with the police. I never know when I'm going to need them.
All right, sir. We have some matches here, Mr. Holger. We understand they were made by your firm.
Oh, matches, huh?
Yes, sir. We'd like to know who they were made for, if you could tell us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we made them. Sort of an exclusive design.
Can you tell us who you made them for?
Oh, I'll check the book. Probably have them in there. Now, let me see. I think that's model 4XY892. Yes. Yes, here's the book. It's probably in here.
Huh. A lot of matches.
Oh, yes, we make quite a few.
They all differ?
Most of them. Some are the same. You know, a customer sees a sample he likes and orders the same thing for his business. We make a few changes so that it fits the line he's in, you know.
Uh-huh.
Neither one of you fellows is collectors, are you?
Beg pardon?
Collectors. Either one of you guys save matchbooks?
Oh, no, sir.
Neither one of you?
No, sir.
Oh, it's a good hobby. I've got quite a collection. Just maybe maybe 7,000.
That many?
Oh, yes. Some of the collectors have more. I've only been saving for about 5 years.
Well, working in a place like this makes collecting easier, huh?
Oh, no, you can't do that.
Huh?
Well, I can't take them out of these samples.
I can't.
Oh, no, that wouldn't do at all. You have to find them. Wouldn't be fair to take advantage of my position to get the books. Oh, no, not fair at all.
Wouldn't?
Oh, no, I take trips. Drive all over to get ones. Last summer, I went back to the Smithsonian Institute. Now, they've really got a collection. Oh, it's just beautiful.
Is that right?
Oh, my, yes, beautiful. Had a wonderful trip. Got a lot of new books. My wife did very good, too. Came back with 2 shopping bags full of sugar.
How's that?
Sugar. She saved sugar cubes. You know, with the wrappings to tell where the cubes came from?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir, I've seen them. I know what you
She saves them. 2 shopping bags full. Wonderful trip.
About the matches, sir. I wonder if you could tell us.
Oh, yes. Well, here you are. I think this is it. Now, let me see the ones you have.
Here you are, sir.
Mm-hmm. Now, let me see. Uh-huh. Same one. Yes, that's it. You know, we have guys coming in here all the time to see if they can't get some books for their collection. I won't go for it, though. The dodges they use. Some of the stories would really make you laugh if you didn't know what they were trying to do.
Yes, sir. How about these matchbooks here?
What? Oh, well, I try to tell them. I go out and get the matches fair. Don't come around here and try to do things the easy way. Go out and get them fair. That's what I tell them.
Yes. Can you tell us where these matches came from?
Oh, all over the world. They come from all over.
No, sir. The matches we brought in. These.
Oh, yes. Oh, my. No. These came from Hollywood. I meant the others, the ones for collecting.
Yes, sir. Can you tell us where in Hollywood?
Well, let me see. Here, Mm-hmm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, 6 places that use these matches. Have a different cover on them, of course.
Well, any way you can tell us where these particular matches came from?
Well, not when they're burned. If I could see the color of the head, I might be able to tell.
I beg pardon?
Well, we put a different color head on the matches.
Oh, I see.
Different place, different color.
Mm-hmm. Any way you could tell from these, though?
Well, could be done. Take some time.
Uh-huh.
Analyze the burned portion. Tell what the chemical content is in the head. Tell that way. Take some time, though.
About how long?
Well, a couple of hours, maybe a little longer.
Well, how much would knowing the color help?
Well, you can see here in the book. There are 2 with red heads, 2 with green, and 2 with white. Be able to narrow it down to 2 for you.
Well, that's not necessary, Mr. Holger.
Be glad to do it.
Well, we'll drop the matches by our crime lab. They can run the test, and then we'll call you back.
All right, that'll be fine.
Wonder if you could give us the address of the places that use the matchbooks.
Oh, sure. I got them right here. I'll make a copy for you.
Sure, appreciate it.
Oh, no trouble at all. Say, I was just thinking.
What's that, sir?
You fellas wouldn't like to start a collection, would you? I could let you have a few books to get you started.
Well, sir.
Wouldn't be cheating. Just a few.
No, sir. Thanks just the same.
Well, take some of these along anyway. Loads of fun.
Huh?
Sugar cubes, all the way from Des Moines.
We got the list of places using the type of book matches found at the scene of the robbery. We told Tom Holger that we'd be back if we needed any more help, and then we left. 5:30 p.m. We called the office and talked to Sergeants Murphy and Rafferty. We gave them the addresses of the 3 motels and asked them to check them out. 6:46 p.m. We started to check out the 3 motels on our list. The rain continued to fall. The Weather Bureau's report indicated that it would keep up for another 12 hours. At the first 2 places, we got no new information on the holdup man. 7:29 p.m. We checked at the last place on our list.
Yeah?
Police officers would like to talk to you, sir.
Oh, sure. Come on in.
Thank you.
Boy, it's sure coming down, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Now, what's all this about? Something wrong?
No, we just like your help.
Nothing I can do. Say, you guys like a cup of hot coffee? Take the chill out of your bones.
No, sir, no thanks.
Got it already. Won't be no trouble.
No, sir. Thanks just the same.
Well, how about your partner?
No, thanks.
All right. Now, what can I do for you?
We'd like for you to take a look at a picture here and tell us if you've seen the man.
Sure.
Frank, you got the sketch there?
Oh, yeah. Got it right here. A little wet.
Uh-huh.
Get some water you got in the pocket.
Yeah. What do you want this guy for? Something special?
We'd like to talk to him.
Yeah, sure. I didn't mean to pry. Just wondering if it was a big job or maybe a bad check, something like that.
Uh-huh.
There you are.
Seen him before?
This his description down here at the bottom?
That's right.
Robbery, huh?
Yes, sir.
Big deal.
You seen him?
I'm not sure. Description fit a lot of people.
Uh-huh. Does it fit anyone registered here?
Yeah, at least 4 guys.
7:36 p.m. We continued to talk to the manager of the motel. He went through the registration cards of the 4 men who answered the description of the holdup man that we were after. We were able to eliminate 2 of them. In the manager's company, we left to check out the other 2 occupants. Cabin number 26 was registered to a John Keller. He had given his address as 1624 Shannon Street, San Francisco.
There's nobody here. You want me to open the door?
Better let us do it, huh?
Figure he might give you some trouble?
We don't know, sir.
I hope not. I run a quiet place here. I like to keep it that way.
All right, would you just stand over there, sir?
Sure. Not here.
When'd you see him last?
Well, I didn't see him at all today. Last time was yesterday evening. Came by to see if there's any phone messages for him.
You say who was going to call him?
No. Kind of impressed me like he was just asking to kill time.
Uh-huh. Better check the closet, huh?
Yeah, I didn't check it good at first. I will now.
How long has this Keller been here?
A couple of days, that's all. Just a couple of days. I didn't know he'd cause any trouble. I wouldn't let him in if I'd have known that.
Sorry, sir.
Joe?
Yeah.
See, man?
Sure. You got something?
Yeah. Pile of dirty laundry here. Take a look.
Yeah. Burglar tools. The burglar tools were not disturbed until they could be checked for fingerprints. We asked the manager of the motel to go back to the office and act as if nothing had happened when the suspect came in. He told us the motel had a switchboard telephone, and we asked him to ring us in the event the office called. I called the city hall and told them where we were. I also asked that another team of men be sent out to help us with a stakeout. Then Frank and I settled down to wait for John Keller. The rain kept up. We waited. 8:30. No sign of the suspect. The office called to say that they were sending Stewart and Creasy out to relieve us at midnight. 9:30, 10:15 p.m.
Well, I sure wish we could smoke.
Yeah.
Wonder what he's doing out in a night like this.
Sure coming down, isn't it?
Yeah. Hope Fay and the kids are all right.
Is there anything wrong?
No, but once in a while when it rains real heavy like this, the storm drain across the street gets clogged. Water backs up, fills the street, you know.
Yeah. Well, we only got another half hour to go here.
Yeah. I'll be glad to get some dry socks on.
Hold it.
Huh?
Somebody coming out there.
Yeah.
All right, Keller, stand still.
Who are you? What are you doing in my place?
Police officers, you're under arrest. Come on. Get up. Come on. Get on your feet.
What do you want me for? I haven't done anything.
Those your tools in the closet?
You guys been snooping around.
Better shake them, Frank.
Yeah.
I got a gun. You'll find it anyway. I got a gun.
All right, give it to him.
38, Joe.
I got it.
Let's get out of here, huh? You got nothing on me. We call a lawyer. You'll be turning me loose in a couple hours.
Hold still, Keller. Yeah. What do you got here?
Pretty wise. You guys don't miss a trick.
No. 32 strapped to his leg, Joe.
What are you doing with that, Keller?
I'm saying nothing until I see a lawyer.
Where's your wallet?
In my coat.
Is that where you keep your money?
You know a better place?
All right, take it out.
Lousy cops think they own you.
You ever done any big time?
I know what you're talking about.
All right, come on, Keller. You know what's going on. You ever done any big time?
Yeah.
Where?
Back east.
For what?
Armed robbery.
You on parole now?
None of your business.
Now, look, we're going to find out anyway. Save yourself some time and us some trouble. Answer the question.
So on parole. What's that prove?
Your parole officer know you're out here?
Yeah.
Didn't he tell you it's against the law for an ex-con to have a gun?
He told me.
Then how come you got two of them?
I drove out here. You need protection on a trip like that.
How much money you got in your wallet there?
I don't know.
About how much?
I haven't got the slightest idea.
I always know how much I got.
Maybe it makes a difference to you.
Count it.
What for?
Count it.
50, 100, 150.
Put it out on the table. We can both count it. Now let's try it again.
4, 7. Comes out $3,053. You want me to count the change in my pocket, too?
Where'd you get the money?
I worked for it.
Where?
None of your business.
All right, Keller, let's go downtown. Frank, you want to get the tools?
Yeah.
Pick up the money, Keller. Put it back in your wallet.
Look, suppose I just leave it there and walk out of here. Wouldn't that make it all right?
You know better than that. Now put it back in your wallet.
It doesn't make any difference anyway. You guys got nothing on me, nothing you can hold me on.
Yeah.
Come on, Keller. Your hands behind.
Yeah.
I'll get the tools, Joe.
Right.
Hey, how about my coat?
Your what?
My coat.
All right, here. Now let's go.
Guys are sure going to feel pretty silly.
Is that right?
Sure, you got nothing on me. My lawyer will have me out in no time. He's a good lawyer.
Yeah, well, he's going to have to be.
Huh?
To get you out of this one.
The story you have just heard is true. The names were changed to protect the innocent.
On June 14th, trial was held in Department 97, Superior Court of the State of California, in and for the County of Los Angeles. John Rudolph Keller was tried and convicted of robbery in the first degree, 1 count, and burglary in the first degree, 6 counts, and received punishment as prescribed by law. Robbery in the first degree is punishable by imprisonment in the state penitentiary for a period of not less than 5 years. Burglary in the first degree is punishable by imprisonment for a period of not less than 5 years in the state penitentiary.
The authentic story of your police force in action, and starring Jack Webb, a presentation of the United States Armed Forces Radio Service.
Ladies and gentlemen, the story you are about to hear is true. The names have been changed to protect the innocent.
Dragnet.
You're a detective sergeant. You're assigned to homicide detail. A man has been shot down on a street corner of your city. There's no apparent motive, no lead to the assailant. Your job, find him.
It was Tuesday, May 8th. It was cool in Los Angeles. We were working the night watch out of homicide detail. My partner's Frank Smith. The boss is Captain Lorman. My name's Friday. I was on my way over from the office, and it was 10:13 p.m. when I got to Georgia Street Receiving Hospital. The waiting room. Hi, Frank.
Joe?
How's he doing?
I don't know. I'll talk to Dr. Sebastian.
How's it look?
Well, not too good. Slugs embedded in his lung caused a hemorrhage. He's getting a transfusion.
What do you got on it?
I just talked to the guys who came in with him for a minute. They didn't have a lot.
Yeah.
Call came in from a man who owns a newsstand at the corner of Normandy and Willowbrook.
See the witness?
Yeah.
Anything there?
I don't know. We'll have to talk to him.
What do you got on the victim?
Wait a minute. I got it here. Name's Matthew Denton. Address given is 18970 Taft Street in Hollywood.
Did you get in touch with anybody?
No, tried the house, but nobody was there.
Anything else?
Yeah, went over the personal property. Usual stuff, cigarettes, lighter, comb. Found a diamond ring on the small finger left hand. Looks expensive. Gold wristwatch. $140 in cash. $1,300 in American Express checks.
Doesn't spell robbery, does it?
No. None of the stuff was disturbed.
Well, maybe you can tell us something, huh?
Yeah.
Joe, Frank.
Hi, Doc. How are you? How's it look?
What time you got?
10:16.
Make it 10:13, man. Close enough for the report.
What?
Time of death.
Matthew Trevor Denton, WMA, 31 years, 5'9", 164 pounds, had stopped living at 10:13 p.m. on May 8th. We didn't know who he was or why he died. Before we left the hospital, we put in a call to Denton's address, but we got no answer. We checked the name and description through R&I. There was no record on the dead man. At 10:48 p.m., we left Georgia Street and drove over to the scene of the shooting, where we talked to the witness, Andrew Cates.
Right over there is where it happened. The bus stop.
Uh-huh.
I was standing right here. Right here.
Mm-hmm.
I saw the whole thing happen.
Yes, sir. About what time was that, Mr. Cates?
Oh, I guess it was 9:30 or so.
I see.
I was just standing here, and bang, bang, 2 shots.
Did you see what led up to the shooting?
Well, what do you mean, let up?
Well, I mean, did you see what happened before?
Oh, yeah, whole thing.
Uh-huh. Would you tell us about it?
Sure.
All right. Go ahead.
Well, one of those nights where just nothing went right, you know what I mean.
Uh-huh.
I started off with my wife burning the coffee. I wouldn't think a person could do that, would you? Burn the coffee?
Shall I go ahead?
I had a big argument before I left home. I just started off that way.
Yes, sir.
Got down here and took over.
About what time did you open the stand, sir?
Oh, I was 7:30 in the morning. Try to get breakfast business, you know. People on the way to eat. Stop off for early paper.
I see.
I try to get them.
All right.
I open her up in the morning, and then there's a school kid takes over for me about 3 in the afternoon. He's here around 6:30 when I come back from supper.
I see.
That's when she burned the coffee. Tonight at supper.
All right. You want to tell us about the shooting?
Oh, sure. Kind of hard, you know. This is the first time for me.
How's that?
Well, it's the first time I've ever been a witness. First.
I see. What time did you first see the victim?
Man who was shot?
Yes, sir.
Well, I told you. It was about 9:30. The car pulled up to the curb, and this fellow got out. He kind of stood there for a minute, and he talked to the other fellow in the car. He just stood there a minute and talked, kind of leaning in the window.
Mm-hmm.
Car pulled away, and the one who got out,
Yeah.
he walked over and sat down on the bench like he was waiting for the bus.
Mr. Cates, you got a good look at the car he got out of?
I saw it, if that's what you mean.
Would you describe it for us?
It was a black Chevy. I'd say maybe a 52 or 53.
Sedan or coupe?
No, it was a sedan, 4-door. Nothing special about it.
Did you get a look at the man that was driving?
No, the light's kind of bad over there. You can see for yourself. The one fellow leaning in the car, I couldn't get a good look. I didn't pay a lot of attention to it anyway. It didn't seem anything to get all concerned about.
All right, sir. You want to go ahead?
Well, the fellow sat there for a minute, not doing nothing, just waiting. Then this other car pulled up, right up the curb.
Mm-hmm.
One guy got out of the car, got right out, and walked over to the fellow sitting on the bench.
I see.
Oh, excuse me a minute, the customer.
All right, sir.
What do you think?
I don't know.
Old Bert always stops by same time. He gets one of each, same time every night. Good old Bert.
Yes, sir. I wonder if you go ahead with your story.
Oh, yeah. Well, this car pulled up and the fella got out. He walked over to the bench, started talking to the first man, and they got in an argument.
How do you know that?
What?
Well, how do you know they were arguing?
Well, I could see you standing over there, waving their arms around. I could even hear some of the yelling. There wasn't no trick at all to see that they were having some kind of trouble.
Mm-hmm. Could you hear what the trouble was about?
No, just a lot of yelling and waving. Could hear no outright words.
Mm-hmm. You want to go ahead, please?
Well, next thing I knew was when the fella got out of the car, started swinging at the other one.
That was the victim?
Yeah, one who was shot.
All right.
Well, you just bet the guy tackled more than he could handle. The victim fella started to clean up on this other one. He just started to mop the street with it.
I see.
That's when the guy who was waiting in the car got out and run over to help his friend, you see.
Mm-hmm.
3 of them kind of struggled around for a while, then the one from the car pulled the gun. Bang, bang. 2 shots. First guy dropped right down on the sidewalk. The other 2 got in the car and took off. Went roaring down Normandy. That way.
Can you describe the second car?
Well, not too good. I just got a glance at it. I wasn't paying a lot of attention at first. The time I figured I should take a good look at it was gone.
I see. Now, how about the men driving it?
What do you want to know?
Can you describe them?
Not good.
Well, if you tell us just what you can, Mr. Cates, it'd help.
Sure. First one was a tall, lanky fellow. He didn't weigh much, sort of string bean.
Mm-hmm. How tall would you say?
Oh, I don't know, close to 6'3", maybe 6'2", round in there. He's a tall one.
About how old?
23, 25. I couldn't tell that too good.
I see. What about his coloring? Was he light or dark, do you remember?
Light. He was blonde.
How about his clothes?
He had on a pair of jeans. One of them jackets, made out of the same kind of material. Rivets like on them.
Mm-hmm.
Were real tight jeans. Both of them were wearing them.
Anything else you can tell us about the tall man?
No.
Was he the driver of the car?
Oh, yeah. He was the one who did the shooting, the tall fellow.
Could you see the gun?
Yeah, but not good.
Do you remember whether it was a revolver or an automatic?
Well, it looked like a revolver to me.
All right, now what about the other man?
He was shorter than the first one. No runt, but, shorter. Guess anybody would look small next to him.
About how tall was he?
Always about 5'9", 5'10". Give a couple, take a couple.
All right. How was he built?
Sort of light, maybe 140.
Anything else about the 2 men? Did either of them wear glasses, do you remember?
No, not so as I could see. He might have taken them off, before they got out of the car. Might have, but I didn't see him when the fight started.
Did either of them use a name that you could hear?
I told you before I couldn't hear anything they said. There's just a lot of yelling when the fight started.
All right.
Wasn't anything special about the 2 fellas to make them stand out. One tall, the other short. No big reason to remember them.
Afraid you got it wrong, mister.
Huh?
We got a reason. We made arrangements for Andrew Cates to come down to the office and look through the mug books. The rest of the neighborhood was checked again, but we were unable to find anyone else who'd witnessed the shooting. While we'd been talking to Cates, a team of detectives from Homicide Detail had gone out to the victim's house. They didn't find anyone at home, but when they spoke to the neighbors, they were told that Matthew Denton's wife was in a hospital. Frank and I checked with her doctor and found out that she was in the maternity ward. He recommended that we delay talking to the woman as long as possible since she was in a weakened condition. From the hospital records, we found that Denton was employed by an advertising agency. We checked with the nurses on duty and found that he'd left the hospital with another man. They gave us a description of him, but they were unable to identify him for us. We asked that they call the office in the event the man returned to the hospital. Frank and I went back to the office and checked out. The next morning, Wednesday, at 8:40 a.m., we were back in the squad room. Yes, sir. You looking for somebody?
I'd like to see somebody about this story in the paper.
Which one is that, sir?
About the shooting last night, corner Normandy and Willowbrook.
All right. What did you want to talk about?
Are you the officers handling the case?
Yes, sir.
My name's Sterling Hall. I think maybe I can help you out.
All right. Want to have a seat, Mr. Hall?
Sure
here,
thing.
Right here's
Thanks.
fine. Sit right here.
Thank you.
It's my partner, Frank Smith. My name's Friday.
How do you do, Mr. Smith?
All right. What do you got?
Well, it says here in the paper where Denton left the hospital with the man. It says you're looking for him.
That's right.
Well, you don't have to look no further. I'm him.
You were with Denton last night, were you?
Just said that.
All right. How long were you together?
Till about 9:30. They dropped him off at the bus stand right where he was shot.
All right. I wonder if you could start at the beginning and tell us the whole story, would you?
Sure thing. Well, you see, I got a lady friend, same hospital as Denton's wife. I was over there last night to say hello. I brought her a box of caramels and said hello.
Uh-huh.
Well, I was on my way out the place, and I stopped off for a cup of coffee in that little old shop they got there. You know, where they has the gifts, books on what to name the baby and all?
Yeah, I know it is.
Well, I was having a cup of coffee, and this here Denton come in. He wanted to buy a little plant for his wife. They just had a baby, wanted to send her something.
I see.
Now, we got to talking, and I had a cup of coffee. It turned out he didn't have his car, so I asked him if I could give him a ride home. He was kind of nervous and all. New father.
Yes, sir.
We left the hospital, and he said it wasn't necessary for me to take him all the way home. Said for me to just drop him off at the bus stand. Told me there was one went right near his house.
All right.
Well, on the way, we was following his car, and all of a sudden it stops. No signal, nothing. Just slams on the brakes, and we rammed into it. Well, didn't hardly do no damage to the other car. Broke one of my headlights is all, but didn't hurt the other car at all.
I see. Go
now,
ahead.
two fellers got out, and they walked back, and they started a little ruckus. Said we was speeding and driving reckless, all that kind of stuff, real loud. And this Denton, he'd tell them to shove off. Said their car wasn't hurt at all, and said not to make a big thing out of it. He told them it was their fault anyway.
Were you still in the car?
No, we got out to see what damage had occurred.
I see.
These two guys started to get rugged now, like they wanted to start some real trouble, and Denton said if they wanted to make a problem out of it, the thing to do was to call the cops and make a complaint.
What'd they say to that?
Nothing, just said to forget it, and then they got in the car and shoved off.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I didn't see him again, but I got to thinking about it this morning when I saw the story in the paper. You think it might have been one of them two who shot Denton?
Well, we don't know, sir. Can you give us a description of the men?
Sure thing. Now, one of them was real tall. The other one was about my height.
It'd be about 5'8"?
5'8" and 3/4.
All right. Can you give us a description of the car?
Yes, sir. It was a light blue Ford, one of them new ones, you know, with the plastic on top.
Yes, sir.
I took a good look at it. Matter of fact, I kind of thought there might be some trouble about the accident. I didn't want to be out on a limb with my insurance company, so I made sure.
Yeah.
I got the license number.
Well, I got a complete description of the two men. Frank checked DMV on the license number. 5 minutes later, he came back to the office.
Joe?
Yeah, you got it?
If you find out who the car belongs to, shouldn't be anything to pick up them two fellers.
It's not going to be that easy. The car was stolen.
Before Frank and I left the office, we made arrangements for Sterling Hall to check the mug books in the hope that he might be able to identify the suspects. At 11:20 a.m., we drove over to talk to the registered owner of the stolen car. He told us that the vehicle had been taken from a parking lot the day before and that he'd made an immediate report on it to the police. Additional broadcasts were gotten out on the automobile and on the suspect. That afternoon, we drove over and talked to the victim's wife. She told us that the money and the express checks Denton had been carrying were for the payment of the hospital and the doctor bills. We questioned her about her husband's friends and associates. Although we had the story given us by Sterling Hall, it seemed unlikely that the man was killed as the result of an argument over a minor traffic accident. We spent the rest of the day interviewing people who knew the victim. From them, we learned that Denton was well-liked and he was respected. He took an active interest in neighborhood clubs and events. The more we went into his background, the more convinced we became that he'd been killed by the men in the stolen Ford. 2 days passed. On Saturday, May 12th, the vehicle was found abandoned. A stakeout was placed on it, and when no one approached it, the crew from Leighton Prince went over the car. They found several partial fingerprints, but not enough for classification. The prints were photographed and held for evidence. Frank and I continued to work on the killing. A month went by without additional information turning up. On Tuesday, June 19th, we got a call from burglary detail. Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, nothing. Where'd he come from? Well, it might check out. No, we'll pick him up. Yeah. Okay, right, thanks. Mac over in burglary.
Yeah?
He says they just picked up a guy for receiving.
Uh-huh.
Tried to make a deal. Said if he got a break, he might be able to help us clean up something.
Say what it was?
Yeah, he did. The Denton killing. We left the office. We went over to room 45. We talked with the officers who'd picked up the suspect. They told us that they found a large quantity of stolen automobile supplies in his possession. We took him to the interrogation room for questioning. For almost an hour, he remained silent.
How about it, Keneally? Going to give us a hand? Keneally?
All right, come on, stand up. Let's go.
Giving up, huh?
No, we'll be back.
Where you taking me?
Back to burglary, and they can book you.
Main jail?
Yep.
But you guys are all through with me, huh?
Yeah, for now. We'll talk to you again.
Well, you won't get any more.
Tell me something, will you?
What?
A little while ago, you said you knew something about a killing. Now you shut up and won't give us the time of day. Why?
I told that other cop if I got a break, you get one.
You know we can't make deals.
No, it's going to cost you.
You're going to take an installment.
How do you figure that?
You said you knew something about Matthew Denton's murder, isn't that right?
I don't remember that far back.
We do, and we can prove you did. You're up on a receiving rap now. That's bad enough, but if we can tag you with holding information, we'll make you as an accessory after the fact.
You mean you'll try?
I think we'll make it.
Well, from here it's got another color.
Well, let's see how it comes out, huh? Come on, let's go. Down this way.
I know. What's a tab for being accessory?
5 years.
Okay, let's go back.
Huh?
I'll tell you all about it.
We returned Harold Keneally to the interrogation room. We put out a call to Gene Bechtel to come and take a statement. Keneally asked that we send out for some coffee for him. Frank went down the hall and brought back 3 cups. After he'd finished his, Keneally leaned back.
It's good coffee. Strong. I like it that way.
Yeah, well, now that you've had the clatch, let's start the story. What do you say?
Sure. What do you want to know?
Who are the 2 men?
I don't know.
Now, you going to start this all over again, are you?
I'm giving it to you on the line. I don't know who they are.
What do you know about them?
Not much. A couple of guys. They're doing pretty good with radios.
You one of their customers?
Yeah. Me and a half a dozen others.
You know who they are?
Well, you're not going to get the names.
All right, let's get back to 2 men. Why do you think they had something to do with Denton?
Well, about 3 weeks ago, they was in my place. Had 5 new radios. The kind with the bar to pick the stations, you know, like the new cads.
Yeah, I know.
I had 5 of them. Want to turn them over.
Yeah.
Well, the price they were asking was way out. I told them so they'd have to find someplace else to drop them.
All right.
Told me there was a beef. They had to get out of town, so they needed the money to swing it.
Well, it still doesn't add up to Denton's killers, does it?
Well, it will.
All right, come on, tell us.
Well, I went out of the office for a couple of minutes, told them I had to make a phone call.
Yeah?
I got a mic hidden in the room, found out it helps in business once in a while. I turned it on and listened to the guys talk.
Go ahead.
They were yakking about some guy that got shot. The big fellow was saying there was no other way to handle it, so that he didn't like it either, but there just wasn't any other way. Big thing then was to get some money and just beat town.
Mm-hmm.
I waited outside for a couple more minutes, but they didn't say anything, so I went back in. I told them I couldn't swing the radio deal.
What'd they do then?
Well, they said they had to dump him someplace. If I couldn't take him, they'd find somebody who would. Told them to go ahead.
And what do these guys look like?
A couple of bums, one tall, the other short, wearing those jeans with the coats made out of the same cloth, you know.
You had dealings with them before?
Yeah, a couple of times.
You know their name?
No. All I know is the big one's called Dusty. I don't know the last part.
How about the other one?
Nothing there.
Anything else about them?
Now, they're both lushes.
Yeah?
The big one is Dusty. Always got a flask on his hip.
You mean a bottle, huh?
No, metal flask like they used in Prohibition. This one's all beat up, dented. It's all dirty. But I never seen Dusty without it. Both of them all the time nipping at it.
All right.
You know where these guys live?
No, someplace downtown. They got a pad there. I don't know where it is, though.
How do you know it's downtown, then?
Well, I don't know for sure. It's just a guess.
Did you ever hear either one of them say anything about a job?
Not those 2. They never done a day's work in their lives. The only thing they're good at is lifting radios. They wouldn't work steady if stealing was legal.
Is that all they take, radios?
All I've ever seen. Guess they got a gimmick. Figure they can make a living with them. Why change?
Mm-hmm.
I guess they do pretty good. I don't know. I paid them enough times.
All right, anything else you can tell us?
No.
They work with anybody else, do you know?
Not that I've ever heard.
How about close friends?
None.
They say when they'd be back to your place?
No, they don't have a regular route. When they pick up some things, they come in. They got nothing to sell. I don't see them.
When'd you see them last?
The time I told you about.
They still around?
Well, I don't know. Rumble says they are. I haven't seen them myself.
You know where we can reach them?
No, you don't make an appointment with them.
You know if these guys have ever been arrested?
Well, we never talked about it. Where they seem to feel about cops, though, you sure figure they feel.
They from L.A., do you know?
I don't think so. Never heard him say. Only done business with him a couple of times. We never got real buddy-buddy.
Mm-hmm.
They don't go that chummy set much.
All right, Keneally. Anything more you want to tell us?
I guess that's it.
All right, come on. Why don't you check the books?
Yeah. Hey, can you spring another cup of that coffee? It's sure good. About the best I ever tasted. Hey, wait a minute.
Yeah?
There's one more thing about the guys you're after.
All right.
Take it easy with them. Like I told you, they're both lushes. I think they're off their rockers.
Yeah, we'll watch it.
Well, you better. They're packing heavy.
Yeah.
Any way you slice it, they're loaded.
Harold Keneally went through the mug books, but he was unable to find a picture of the 2 suspects. The name Dusty was checked to the moniker file without result. Information was forwarded to George Brereton up at CII Sacramento, and a supplemental APB was gotten out. We spent the rest of the day with officers from burglary detail going over reports. We found that they'd been working on a string of car radio thefts for the past several weeks. When we compared notes with them, it seemed more than possible that their 2 suspects were the same men we wanted for the killing of Matthew Denton. However, they were no closer to the men than we were. From the reports, we were able to figure that the pair was still in Los Angeles. That evening, we met with Captain Lorman, Captain Bernard, and Chief of Detectives Thad Brown. We worked out a system of rolling stakeouts that would cover most of the territory where the thieves had been working. 3 additional teams of men from burglary were assigned to help us, and on Wednesday, June 20th, the operation was started. For 3 days, there was no action. Thefts from autos continued. But when they were checked out, the method of operation used eliminated any suspects that we were looking for. On Sunday, June 24th, we got a call that a man answering the descriptions of one of the thieves had been seen in the vicinity of Beverly Boulevard and Elmwood Avenue. Frank and I left our position in the stakeout, and we drove out to the area.
Should be a couple of more blocks.
Yeah, we just passed Ridgewood Place. You better take it easy. Next block, we can start cruising.
Yeah. See anything?
No. Want to take a left here?
All right. Doesn't look like it.
Well, let's go up a couple more blocks.
All right. Sure be a break if we nail him tonight.
Yeah.
A little rough on the study time.
How's it going?
Oh, I don't know, Joe. At times I don't think I'm ever going to make sergeant.
What are you doing now?
You mean studying?
Yeah.
Legal procedure.
Well, you should know that.
Well, practical stuff, yeah. Putting it into legal language, it makes it rough on me.
Yeah, I had the same trouble.
I haven't been able to hit the books for the past week.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
No, nothing. Keep going. What'd you say?
I said I hadn't hit the books. I missed a couple of lectures, too.
Well, you're never going to make it that way.
That's what Faith says.
Wait a minute.
Huh?
Slow down.
What do you got?
Up there. See? Next block on the left. About 50 feet on the other side of the street line.
I don't see anything.
Looked to me like somebody trying to get into a car. I'm not sure.
Well, let's check it.
All right. Just up ahead there.
Yeah. See anything?
Well, looked like somebody on the other side. Better pull up. We'll take a look.
Okay.
All right, let's go.
I'll cover the other side.
Take it easy. If it's the one we want, they're heavy.
All right.
All right, mister, let's hold it right there.
What?
Stand where you are.
You talking to me?
That's right.
What are you causing me trouble for? I didn't do nothing.
We didn't say you did.
How about it, mister? This your car?
Certainly it's my car. Who do you think it belongs to?
You got the white slip?
It's in the machine. It's right out in plain sight where it's supposed to be.
You've been drinking, haven't you?
Small wonder you officers don't do better at solving crimes. I had a couple, yeah.
What's your name?
I don't see how it's any business of yours. All I'm trying to do is get into my car. I'm not causing any trouble.
What's your name?
It's Kyle, Peter Kyle.
You got the keys to this car?
Matter of fact, I haven't. That's why I'm having so much trouble getting in. If I had the keys, I could just flip the door open and drive off.
Frank?
Yeah.
Yeah, what are you doing?
Just want to see what you're carrying.
Watch it, Joe. All right, mister, come on. Get up.
I'm doing like you say I'm doing.
Try it again, Frank.
Yeah. Come on. Get your hands back. He's clean, Joe.
All right. Turn around.
I didn't mean to do it. I didn't mean to shoot.
Yeah, sure.
Honest, you gotta believe me. I didn't mean it.
Come on down here under the light. All right, now stand still.
Yeah, matches the description pretty good.
Where's your partner?
I didn't mean to do it. It was an accident. I just hit the guy. I just got in a fight with him. Dusty did the shooting. He did it. I didn't. I just got in a fight.
All right, now calm down. Where is he?
I knew you'd catch us. I knew it all the time. I kept telling Dusty we had to get out of town. We got to go. I kept telling him. All the time I was telling him.
Well, where is he?
Home.
Where's that?
He's the one who did it. I just got in a fight. Dusty's the one who shot, not me.
Where do you live, mister?
Down on 4th. That's where old Dusty is. Old, safe Dusty. He said we didn't have to leave. He said you'd never catch us.
All right, let's go.
Old Dusty is always right. Always knows what he's doing all the time. Never makes a mistake. Not old Dusty.
Yeah, well, he made one this time, didn't he?
Peter Gregory Kyle and Jesse Haywood Poole were tried and convicted of murder in the second degree and petty theft, 18 counts. They received punishment as prescribed by law. Petty theft is punishable by imprisonment for a period of not more than 1 year in the county jail. Second-degree murder is punishable by imprisonment for a period of from 5 years to life.
Dragnet is a presentation of the United States Armed Forces.